Hello everybody, and welcome to our webinar today, which is presented by Quintica. It's titled Modernize, Automate, and Optimize IT Service Management and Digital Transformation for Customer Experience. Quintica will present today about the system ServiceNow for IT Service Management, which will help your organization for managing your IT service either to internal or to external customers. And our panelists today are Brian McKenzie, who is the Managing Director of Quintica, and Milton Joy Singh, who is Director of Consulting Services, and Mr. Ali Al-Khayat, Solution Consultant Manager. So let's welcome our speakers today, and I hand over to Mr. Brian to start.
Thank you very much, Rania. This is Brian. I'm, as Rania mentioned, I'm the Managing Director of Quintica, and I've been doing this job here for the last 13 or 14 years, based in the United Arab Emirates, and we've been doing business in Egypt, obviously here in the Gulf, and in a number of other countries in Africa. And what I wanted to just introduce you to before MJ introduces more about the company that we are is just the topic of what's happening in the world today. And what we're seeing today is that in daily life, all people have an engagement to services that they're looking for in a new way, in a modern way. We're no longer living in the world of our grandparents. We're connected to the internet, and we're using some of these technologies on a day-to-day basis. And the technologies are giving us a very rich user experience that's being driven by dynamic information coming from our service providers. And as the picture indicates, not only, for example, when we're trying to get somewhere, do we know the way to get there, but we even know what's happening on the ground. We know what sort of thing is occurring to us or in the marketplace, and we can adjust, and we are given information to adjust to that kind of situation. But of course, when we go to work, things are a little bit different. We don't get that same experience. And if I could just look at the next slide, that what we're also, the world at work is still very old-fashioned in a way. And when we want to get some kind of a service, effectively what happens is we pick up the telephone or we write an email. And we send that request into somebody else's environment, and we have no visibility on it. But of course, the expectation that we would have, because at home we can get much richer experiences of what services are available that aren't only what is being published, but is actually using technology to know what we normally would ask for, what we would normally expect. We would use, for example, in some of these instances that I've given you here, we would use some sort of artificial intelligence to scroll through a lot of information to actually feed up the kind of experiences that we're looking for. And when we talk about digital transformation, even with respect to the sort of more mundane world of IT service management, there's no reason to imagine why our users shouldn't expect the same kind of capability. And that's something like what we want to show you today. So remember, our users are not only staff, they're not only employees. We can use these same technologies to provide a service management experience to our customers as well, because we know what our customers have bought from us. We know what we've installed for them. We know what we provide for them. We should have an idea of their history, and we should be able to automate that experience. So instead of the customers calling somebody who answers the phone at a call center, why aren't we giving them this more modern experience of giving a self-service capability in the palm of their hand, where they can immediately see a personalized experience of what it is that they're looking for, and we should be able to then intelligently route that request either through an automated provisioning service, so they get that service very, very quickly, or we route it to a service agent, whether he's a mobile field service agent or somebody within the organization who gives the right information at the right time, and at the same time gives on that device that customer or that employee a status update, a status alert of exactly when is that service coming in. This is the future. This is what is available today, and we need to catch up, because as an IT service management organization, we know that if we're not providing this service, then our clients are not as satisfied, not as delighted with the service that we give as they are with various other services that they get every day in their normal lives, whether it's ordering a taxi or a pizza or you know, a movie from Netflix or something like that. So this is the world that we're living in. And I want to invite Mrityunjay Singh to come in and explain what we're doing and why we have found ourselves in a position to deliver these kind of capabilities.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for that great introduction, and thank you again, Rania, for introducing us. My name is Mrityunjay Singh, as Rania said, and I'm also known as MJ, and I head the consulting services at Quintica. It's my privilege to introduce Quintica to you, and I'd like to inform you that Quintica has been in the business of making complex simple in enterprises since the early 2000s. And that was the time when the actual start of digitalization or digital transformation started. We have been working across this region since then, and we have been working with some large organizations and doing a very focused business process and technology consulting, and ensuring that the challenges that you're experiencing in your organization, we come up with a solution together and add value. As part of the offering, I think the service management has been very key for us. But apart from that, we have focused not only in the IT side of the service management, but have moved into looking at how we can enhance the employee experience, how we can enhance your customer experience, and also ensuring that the right regulations, the policies, and the security is being taken care of. As the technology evolved, we also evolved, and we started looking at various other emerging technologies, which led to having partnership with some of the leading platforms, and ServiceNow is one of them. The focus moved on with new technology like the IoT, the Internet of Things, where various devices are talking to each other and trying to make our life simple, as Brian was explaining. With the advent of chatbot, we're trying to ensure that some of these standard queries for which we have to go to the search engines, or we have to look for information somewhere else, that gets available through a bot. And with our core value, which was making complex simple, we went on with the digital transformation, and we did some great projects, and we still continue doing it. Over a period of time, the values chain, which was how we can add value to our customer, that can only happen if the employees are happy. And once the customer are happy, your shareholders will be happy. The employee experience became very, very important. And that's where the HR service management and business management and workflows came into picture. We, being a telco specialist, having worked with some of the largest telco in the region, our OSS and AI ops became an extremely important part of our offering. And underlying is the entire outsourced service management. With offices across Africa, the entire Middle East, we are working with our great clients and trying to solve their business problems. I would like to talk about what exactly are we offering, and we should look at the next slide. Now, with the experience of over 20+ years, we realize that we have learned a lot in the various industry that we have worked through. And if you keep on going on looking at the industry, and if you move on to the next part of the slide as well, there are three components that we're looking at. If you move on to the technology bit as well, there are three components that we're looking at. We worked with various industries, and aviation, the energy segment, the public sector, working with the government, and the education segment, the financial services, which was one of the first industry to adopt technology, the commercial segment, which is focusing on the retail side of it, and obviously telco, which has become an integral part of our life. With that industry experience, we started looking at our consulting expertise in the various domains. And we looked at as IT operation as one of the areas which is going to enable the employee experience. Not only that, look at the enterprise service management and also focus on enhancing customer experience through customer service management. And the integral part is, with all this done, you need ways to accept ideas, process the demands, work through projects to add a new services as offering, and ensuring that it is being offered at cost at optimized cost through IT business management. The entire gamut of ideation to demand to application portfolio management, project portfolio management falls in that direction, and we started actively investing in it. The governance of risk and compliance has been an integral part of every industry, and we realize the fact that it stitches the consulting practice really, really well, ensuring that whether you're delivering IT operation, employee experience, customer service, or IT business management, there are policies and regulations that you have to adhere to, and keeping a hawk eye on the risk and being compliant to it. With the emerging technologies, we also identified some of our key partners, and we relied on our core of the platform, which was ServiceNow, and which is our workflow automation platform. We are using ServiceNow as our enterprise digital service management platform, and along with other platforms that has coming to focus on the user experience, ensuring that the access management is being monitored and controlled well, ensuring that there is a identity platform to ensure the access management and identity is protected, ensuring your workplace is getting smarter, ensuring that your investment through SAM and cloud platform automation can be taken care through Snow, ensuring there is a security when you are communicating with your people through Mimecast, and ensuring that your operation is becoming intelligent and accepting the new machine learning capabilities. With that, Quintica took on this journey, and we have been very happy to add great value to some of the clients, and that will be showing in the next slide. If you look at the next slide, as per the industry vertical, you will see some of the big names, which are the blue chip companies. You're very recognizable, whether you talk about Emirates Airlines to Tanata to Dubai Airport. In the energy and resourcing segment, we're talking about Abu Dhabi National Oil Corporation, one of the largest oil and gas organization in the region, to the mining organization like Tenke, which is in the middle of the Congo jungle, ensuring that the financial services is being taken care of with some of the big names in Bahrain to Oman, with Oman Arab Bank and Burba Bank in Kuwait, and obviously the public sector through Smart Dubai Government, Road Transport Authority in Dubai, Emirates Post, and also focusing on the commercial aspect, which is the retail segment with Al Shaya Group and Shalhoub and Americana, Majid Al Futtaim, and the telco segment, which I'm sure that you recognize some of them, which is Etisalat, Tigo, Helios, and Safaricom. There's another one which is missing from here, and which is our client as well, is Vodacom, which is very much recognizable with, and we work with them in South Africa. These are some of the success stories where we have not only looked at the IT side of it, but employee experience, customer experience, and ensure that the digital transformation happens in a very efficient manner by adding value to our client gets the return of investment. With that, I'll hand it over to my colleague. But before that, I also want to ensure that I talk about the core of Quintica, which is Q Journey. With big things and great people, which is our motto, and with a slogan, making complex simple, we relied on the proven method of Deming cycle, which is plan, do, check, act. And with that, we build our own approach to drive digital transformation. In here, we look at assessing the organization's current landscape. We look at identifying the opportunities for improvement, ensuring that your services are defined efficiently, the processes are defined efficiently, the process are re-engineered, and the right technology is being implemented to put the right controls and drive automation, and then ensuring there is a continuous improvement through QLive. That's been the part and core of our entire offering since over 20 plus years, and we look forward to add value to our clients as well. The next slide focuses on how we are driving IT business today and what is the future looking like with ServiceNow. And I'll hand it over to my colleague Ali, who is our solution consulting manager and a veteran in deploying the technology and adding value to our client and driving return of investment. Ali?
Thank you very much, MJ, and it's a great opportunity to be on this call today with everyone here. So what the topic is today that we have discussed and what we actually want to achieve and what you probably want to achieve in your companies today. We're looking at from what is driving the IT business today. So when you look at the outcomes of that, we're looking at from four simple things, which comes from resilience, comes from cost savings, innovation, and experience. These are the factors that actually would drive a great IT business that people are looking for. So looking from the perspective of resilience, it drives the operational resilience that actually we want to deliver always on services for our clients and customers that we have in the IT industry. Going secondly, which is actually the most important, which is a cost savings. So from cost savings perspective, that we manage the cost across the people, the process, and the technology landscape that is set up in the IT industry for that company. From innovation perspective, definitely we don't want to forget that point, because we actually companies tend to invest in initiatives that increases the pace of the innovation for that business. And plus then you have the experience, which delivers a great experiences that customers and employees will get out of IT in a single company. So that's sort of what's driving today the business IT, and how do we actually achieve that or get into it. Rania, we can go to the next slide, please. So as you see here, in front of you, so across the IT, the value delivery chain today, whatever it is, if I'm an agile or waterfall or scrumfall or whatever that scenario comes in, IT, as you can see from the diagram here or the picture here, has built sort of a rat's nest of products that's held together by a baling wire, and as you can see from the complexity. So this comes from legacy solutions and point solutions that causes IT to be made made up of disjointed and fragmented tools. So making it difficult to support the changing of the workplace that you can see, and that gives from the perspective of efficiency and effectively providing the support. Now, the point of products that adds to the complexity, it's resulting in high costs to manage and integrate, poor user interface for consistency, and really it can't go fast enough for today's digital business and keep up with the new norm that we see. So what we end up seeing here from that is you'll see the limited ability for IT to deliver modern services due to the management of the legacy on-premise systems. You can see the poor integration between this separated data sources and processes and tools in place. You'll see too much time spent on firefighting instead of delivering these services. And then last but not least, you're looking at the lack of real-time visibility, making it nearly impossible to actually make those decisions. And that's what drives most of the ITs to work in silos in between the groups. So moving into next step, that gives us another point here and where we want to go to actually achieve a solution. So Ron, if you move into, the next slide. you would notice that what really plays in really well into when you have sort of a single a platform, right, to plan, build, and operate the service across all IT functions. So if you look at the top there, what you're looking at for the great experience for not just for IT, but for your employees and customers. And that includes, like, from looking at the programming area, from the architecting, from the development, security, risk, and the ops security, and then you have the service desk. That makes them easy to actually deliver to the employees and the customers that you have in the company. So what we're saying is a single platform for the IT that gives you the IT workflows, gives you sort of the employee workflows and the customer workflows and the creator workflows to give you some innovation. Now, as you see at the bottom there, that drives what we call the Now platform, and that Now platform hosts the second part of it, which allows you to have your workflows and integrations for these processes, have the machine learning and AI, which is important today for the analytics as well, to give you the results and drives the business for that. Having, when we talk about end user experience, we talk about, how you can give something that what Brian earlier talked about, something that we do today using a mobile, using a great interface that hosts these services, and have the employee just come in from one aspect and one place as a stop shop to request or ask, the IT, whether it's, HR businesses, it's just one place, stop shop. And then going further that you see, which is the service graph that allows you to see these processes into one place. Then you have an enterprise service management, which start including here all these platforms in together. And last but not least, you have the developer tools in-house. So now what you see here, we're talking about a one platform, a one data module, and a one architecture. Now, yes, these are driven by the software lifecycle from planning and building and operating and then servicing these solutions. And the lower level, as you see at the bottom there, which is the technology ecosystems that we talked about, how we can actually integrate these into this one platform and present to the IT that platform that provides them the services, the monitoring, the security, the service desks, and all those groups that we talked about, and try to bring them into breaking that silos that they work today in, and provide them that open-wise platform that allows them to share the detail and actually give the right information in the right time for the employees and customers. So these are just some examples of these some platforms or applications that you can integrate into that platform of Now platform, which is we'll come into 1 second to talk about. So going to next slide, as you see, so what we're going to discuss today as that life cycle that you see there, one of these capabilities will be sort of at this stage talk about is the ITSM. So what you can see is that platform that brings in together from the perspective of your IT service management, your IT business management, and your development, your DevOps, your IT asset management was one of the key points, the IT operations and the security operations, and the governance and risk and compliance. Now, what can provide that? And that's when we talk about delivering a digital change with the platform for IT, and that's you have one. So that allows you to plan inside it, you build, you operate, and then you service it. So again, today we'll be focusing, most focusing on that area. Now, there's one reason why actually we are talking about this single platform, and where we actually, most of our customers that you saw, we experienced it with them building this platform into one place. So if we moved into the next slide. So ServiceNow itself, as you can see here, it's the best suited solution that we foresee for most of the customers. So it's over 7 years in a row that's been actually nominated to be the leader in Gartner Magic Quadrant for ITSM. From their customers, you have sort of, if you look at the pie chart there, over the 2019 market share holds, that's estimated at the time, was 50% out of what the IT systems in the world. ServiceNow holds 51% of the shareholds that is actually moved into this. 90% rate of most of those customers who actually moved into ServiceNow willing to renew their subscriptions with it. And this is just what tells us is how successful that this platform have progressed over years with their innovation of providing new modules and new ways of work into the customer's environment. And that's one of the reasons that Quintica moved into that initiative with most of the customers, as you see earlier in these slides that we talked about, MJ, how we actually changed their systems with ServiceNow. We go into the next slide. So as you can see here, so legacy solutions and the point solutions, right, that causes the IT to be made up of disjointed and fragmented tools, which that makes it really difficult to support these changing workplaces and efficiency and effectively getting results. So with the limited ability for IT to deliver modern services due to management of legacy on-premise solutions, looking at the poor integration between these this separated data sources, that the process and the tools, that brings too much time being spent on these firefightings instead of delivering these services. Now, one of the aspects as well, as you see, is the lack of sort of the real-time visibility, making it really sort of nearly impossible to make the informed decisions and on how to improve this. So as sort of putting this together, I mean, we're coming up with high cost of these services. We're getting no visibility, no business alignments that comes into place, because they're all trying to bring into multiple systems that actually provides us that solution for the IT to move on. One of the main points that we always hear is the poor employee experience that runs into, and then because of these are not connected really well, you start ending up with slow innovation on the speed, right? That gives you more up-to-date solutions. So moving into the next slide, with the ServiceNow, as it's the foundation for the digital transformation that we're looking at. It's sort of like a jump start for the digital transformation that allows you moving your IT service to the cloud with ServiceNow nonstop cloud that they provide. And this moves sort of some of the headache of these legacy systems that you have to monitor, support yourself. I think if you just click again, you'll get the. So looking at this perspective here, so you have the Now platform that sits on the cloud that allows the customer experience with providing the mobile, the portal, and then you have something what we call the walk-up experience that allows the employees to walk up to or book sort of a one-to-one session with IT to go on spot and get something fixed. This actually has to deliver the resilient in IT of the services in one single platform for the ITSM cloud. And that's what we're focusing on today. And then what this allows us with sort of the AI and the machine is to boost the IT agent productivity with faster platform native AI resolutions that looks at history data and try to guide the IT of what to do next and what would happen next if you don't take an action today. And as well as we talk about how to serve the employees anywhere with always IT services. And one of the aspects that we look at today, the situation that we ran into which is most of the companies actually started working from home, trying to do the due diligence and be effectively available for, especially in the IT industry, to the employees and provide the service to allow them be available online and to connect to these services, whether sometimes you have to use VPN or having some issues going on, sometimes email, and customers tend sometimes just to be available to walk to a service desk, but this allows them to actually increase the productivity. And as you can see, looking at this, just moving into the digital transformation, you have the average ROI, in 7 months that people was able to achieve is 229% going into this, having around 6 million avoided of legacy costs in moving into this direction. And then as you see, it's dramatically increasing the points of increasing the customer CSATs. And that's what we noticed from most of the customers that actually moved with ServiceNow and over the years. So coming into the next slide, which I wanted to highlight about this Now platform, and I'm talking about one aspect of this. So as you can see here, we are looking at the middle part, which comes in, which is the IT service management part of it. And guys, this is just one application of ServiceNow. So it's the core setup, what we called about the Now platform, that provides you the one CMDB that hosts the data, which is your configuration management system. You have the benchmarks that allows you to compare and see your reportings with how you do and how actually you are working in that industry. The Now mobile, which is a key point of that platform that allows the employees to interact, as well as the agents to actually comment. And I'll come into these in a few sites for demo to show you how this works. Reporting and dashboard all into one platform. The knowledge management that gives the employees the knowledge, as well as the IT. The mobile agent, what we talked about, which is from the agent perspective, the service level management that hosts all these, and then the surveys and assessments. Now, on your left side on the screen, you would see what the IT service management includes, like, looking from the incident and problem management, change and release management that comes with it, the request management, asset and cost management, and walk-up experience, what I mentioned about employees can interact with IT, the virtual agent which is a key aspect to actually move into. Now, up to the agent workspace that you see there, which is a one platform, and I'll demonstrate that as well, how this actually incorporates for the agent to work with these tickets. Going up from virtual agent to the predictive intelligent. These are sort of the pro features of ServiceNow. The agent workspace and down to the incident, these are the standard ServiceNow. Performance analytics, the continual service improvement, the service owner workspace that allows the service owner to look at his applications and how well they're actually progressing with reports, and the vendor management, that workspace that you can actually control the vendors. The dynamic transactions that goes into for the integrations as well. I think there is, if you click again, there's 2 more. I'm mistaken, yeah. And then you have the process optimization and the workforce optimization that allows. So as you can see from this, just highlights on a high level what comes into the standard, what comes into the pro and the enterprise of ServiceNow. So next slide, I'll start to actually, stop talking about these and try to show you some key points of this platform where really it shines and really allows you to understand how this really interacts with IT today. So I'll be sharing my screen right now for you guys to actually see how this interacts. So let me just, if someone can confirm, Rania, that my screen is visible, right?
Yes, we can all see it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Alex, visible.
Great. So what I was talking earlier about, so I'm coming to a point is with ServiceNow, you can provide that single portal that allows the end user to interact with. And as you see here on the form, it's a simple platform that actually it's adaptable. It allows you to run it from a mobile, run it as, this is a mobile view, run it from your tablet, and it's adapted to change the sizes on big screens and how this actually interacts. It gives the customer with that sort of Google feel that, how can we help you today? What are you looking at? So let's say Eileen here, that's looking at to have sort of importing an address book into her Outlook. So she can start talking about address book. She's, thinking that is okay. So it comes up that search result that give her some, I'm looking to export address book from a CSV file. I'm extract to mailbox. So it gives some ideas where to go into that sort of search and find the results, and gives them right away that article that they can interact with and give them some steps, and they can rate, they can provide feedback if they want. Was this helpful for them? And as we go, what this does, it allows even the agent, if Eileen was actually to send this ticket to them, that they don't need to provide her this knowledge article because she looked at it. So you see, it all completes the picture that it was helpful for her, she was able to solve it, or was it not helpful as well. These are simple points that we don't probably take into consideration, but it really gives a great experience for the user to actually handle. This is one simple thing. Another thing that we talked about, like sort of some catalog. So when people are actually want to come into that feeling that they do today. So everyone knows today how to use Amazon or these Noon or whatever those sites that actually use today on their mobile to purchase. And as you can see here, they get that feeling of the same concept that they use today at home. So if she's actually requesting for a laptop that she wants a replacement to go through, or in her office that she needs a printer, as you can see, these are categorized into boxes, and you can see even there's no limit that you can actually have prices to have sort of the chargeback on the department for the IT to understand what they've been used. And all these actually are interactive and go through approvals from manager's manager, and the system is just seamless, takes this into place. So it could be that she is looking for an iPad for her work. She can click on it. There's some options. This one, for example, it's straightforward. This is an iPad with this features that it has available. That's what's available in stock. If there is an approval or an attachment that she needs to fill a form, that can be done here, or that could be fields. And this even allows her an extra step. She can order 2 for her and for her colleague, that one request. She can add this cart because she needs not just the iPad, she probably needs with it a computer because she's a new hire that they forgot to actually do that. So even that option allows her to go to the cart and view the cart, right, what's in her cart, and as well as allows her to go back to the catalog and get the next item. So as you see here, it's just allowing her to move into that session that they do today at home. It's just to simplify how they work. So I said she might need the laptop with it, so she can actually go ahead and look at the laptop itself. Okay, so it is a request for, could be for me, it could be for the same employee. These are all same. This is again a standard one. She can go ahead and add the cart and then order right away. So she can view her cart if she's satisfied, or she doesn't want to the iPad and she's going to do that, and then just proceed to checkout. How do you want to deliver it? Is it to my office, or I can come and pick it up? I can tell them the direction that I can come and pick it up from IT. So it's just simple, concept. And there's special instructions that if I'm not in the office, you can just drop it there, and and these actually just guides the IT what to do next. So it's just a simple way that today each user interact. And as you can see here, tells me that what I have ordered, I have a request, my request number, and I can even go further to view. So in my request, as I just now submitted, I have 2 items. Each item goes into its own way. So I can look at my iPad, for example, and look at the workflow and see actually, okay, so it's waiting for approval. If I need to, add something to it, or I can as well just comment back and say, can I get an update? It's just simple things that user interacts, which we don't have these actually actions. Now, these are just simple things that are available. Looking at other aspects, she doesn't need to actually search for that. She can talk with an agent bot, which is a bot that ServiceNow as well provides, that the user can go ahead. And remember earlier I was talking about how she can, she doesn't want to search there, and she's looking at, for example, Outlook. So I can just start I'm having a problem with Outlook. The agent would take it and try to find a solution for me in the same time that I have a problem. It sort of takes that word and try to understand if there is sort of an incident, an issue, or is there an actual thing. So it didn't probably recognize directly what I mean by Outlook, but if I can say I have an issue, which most likely my Outlook, and go further, the system would analyze that. And this, the nice thing about this virtual agent, it actually adapts and learns. So it looks at it and say, and now I know because I'm stuck in a session. So this is after it's being submitted. It will actually tell you what the rating. Now I'm just going to select that for the sake of just sending a review, but because I was on an old session I had, I just supposed to reset this. So as you see here, it allows me as well to pick up something directly. So I can right away report my issue if I did not, which is, what's my issue? Well, my Outlook is not working as expected, or as expected. And as you see here, the system will take it. Say that really well, but it can say, well, there are some searches in the knowledge base. If there's something, was this helpful? I can view that and then see what they're talking about. If there's some points that I can actually interact with, not really. So was it really, did it resolve the issue? No, it did not. And the system would go ahead and say, well, what's the urgency that you have today? And to me, it's a sort of a medium urgency. Send it up the system. You have an attachment? Not really have anything to attach. I'm also, I think you want me to submit it? Yes, please go ahead. And as you see directly on my screen, my incident just pops up. And here, as you can see, I can go ahead and look at my incident. That's the system just went and created. And I can look at it. So that's just one aspect from this area. And the system already fair enough to give me that. Now, looking into, that's from an end user perspective, but really what is available to our agents. So one of the things that really comes up here is this is David Liu. Like, as you can see here, David is just a normal service desk agent that comes in work. He can go ahead, switches itself online. He can go ahead and look into the incidents that are open today, that's into the group or assigned to him. These are sortable things, normal incident management that you can actually look at, sort of sort them in, what's being created. And as you can see here, when you look at it, it allows the system to work in a tab-based, gives them all the information needed. There's an agent assist that works with the AI capability that the system start learning and saying to David, well, can you look at some catalogs, some knowledge base articles that there's similar incident might happen to this, you can use out of, and just allows him to go ahead. So I just want to assign this to me and work on it. So that's one concept. Now, let's just stop there. This is normal, what we do today, incident and management. What ServiceNow is trying to do, and as you see, I'm just moving into some areas out of the what we call the agent workspace. And the nice thing, or the beauty here, you can start saying, I want, just start typing, and the system starts creating. So you can say, I want to look at my incident, type here, incidents by, count, let's get count by let's say states. Let's look at that. So the system goes in ahead. You ask the question, the system takes the words and starts giving you a report, because it's sort of organized. I'm looking at the incidents, so I want incidents counts, and I want them by state. The system already goes in and finds these reports that, based on the words that you talk to the system will provide you that certain report. And these are interactive, by the way. If you click on it, it gives you all the closed incidents. So you can see here, I can pull them. But it's a really one single shop that the agent is looking at. And there's another one here, which is, it could be some next topic later, but as well gives you your services, what's up and running, to see directly from one-stop shop place for that agent. So even if it was David part of the NOC, he can still look at his services and sort of drill down into that. So the LDAP application service, I can go ahead and look at it directly from the same view. So as you can see, this is critical, it's in progress. It was green, actually, there's no events on it, but as well as it just allows him from his ITSM area to actually jump into, probably it's not a good example that I looked at, but let me go to something closer, which is, let me go into, because we were talking about email, so let's look at the customer email service, more relevant. And I want to drill down to that sort of map that the system can look at that. So as you can see, it provides me right away a map of that system. And if there was any alerts, how that email setup, it would actually create an incident automatically for me. Now, this is just part of the agent workspace. There's a lot of ways that the users can interact. So one of the nice things that actually it provides, you have this sort of kanban that you can go ahead and for the team leaders in that team. So have looking my new incidents, and this is really interactive and nice that you can move it in progress, and you can take and assign to person and sort of assign it to him as a primary or additional. And what this allows as well, so once it's in progress, you can actually quick look into it. You can as well here look into, assignees. You can add additional assignees, like, this is from the service desk that you can add. So we can add someone here and then save it. So it's just a one-stop shop. You don't need to go directly to the incident, which allows him to oversee. So you have the on hold, you can move it in on hold, and there's a reason for on hold. So he's just not moving these around because an on hold could be a reason for an end user to actually look at. So I don't want to take too much of the time. I want to leave 6 minutes to go, and I want to leave 5 minutes for questions if anyone has questions. One thing that I wanted to share as well, I talked about the analytics and how actually management can look at these. So you see, like, sort of that BI reporting that ServiceNow provides, which is the performance analytics. And it allows you to actually look on reports and create your initiatives against these. So as you can see, these are interactive. I can actually go into it in more detail. Look at my dates that this is in between. and I can limit that. Am I still audible? Let's let that pop up. Sorry, just checking if I'm still audible, guys. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we can still hear you.
Yeah, I just saw that pop up. Sorry. And really, it's what it gives us. See, as you can see, the initiatives I can tag. I can see the dates that these number of incidents were open each day by February. Let's see, 13. I got 276. I can sort of, create it in a visualized line. I can a subline. I can go ahead and look at sort of, confidence, play around with it and put my targets that I want to look at, certain dates in specific. It really allows us to give us more detail and create those initiatives. And I can still compare between these as well, certain dates that how this works on February 16 and 17, for example, as you see here. So I can look between 2 days, how is it, what's the gap on that change target and what am I looking for? So it just what allows you to complete that picture for from perspective of management that has those KPIs that they can look at their dashboards, provide them the right dashboards that they need, end user experience. And one thing quick I want to come back to, which is the mobile experience. So I talked about this and I just wanted to highlight. So you have in here, I have mobile, which I wanted to talk about, just quick on Eileen. And as you can see here, Eileen has the same functionality that she can look at requests that's open. She can see that's her MacBook and, sort of iPad I'm clicking on. I just submit it. I can see where my process is, which today allows her to see where is it sitting. So really it's waiting for approval from management, waiting for the asset approval, goes to fulfillment, and then delivery, and then goes out. I can still go ahead here and sort of add some comments, normal mobile. So can I get an update? And post directly into there. Your comments goes in instantly there. You can add pictures. You can take a picture. Normal functionality, add attachments. Picture as well. I mean, if you click on the camera, you can take any photo. For example, on just my laptop here, take a photo. I can use it. The same functionality starts adding it directly to the ticket, which allows the customer interact really from his phone and get what he needs directly on that usability. And it's the limit's endless here. So you can look for sort of, any article, like, she was looking before for the Outlook, for example, that she looked at, or exporting stuff. So the system looks into that and provides some information. So I was talking about the importing, right? So that functionality gives that knowledge base even on the phone. So she doesn't need really to move on to a computer and log into the system. So all that functionality comes into one place. And the same, is it helpful? Can I rate it or submit my comments back? Now, this same thing goes back to the agent. This is another app which is for the agents, not for end users. They can actually look into, sort of the active instance that's in place. They can go into it, the same concept. They can look at the incident. They can change from the assignment. This is assigned to David. We can go into that edit mode, look at the activity, do the comments, look at the related list, look at the SLAs that's attached to it. It's a 1 day in progress, and more visual to it. Same thing goes to if there's any approvals, they can on a swipe approve from the phone for management. So it's 1:55, sorry. I will hand out back to Rania for any questions. There's questions for the session.
Yes, thank you, Ali, for the demo. So If anybody of the audience has any question for the panelists, please post it in the chat area or in the questions area so that we can get answers to you now. Meanwhile, I have some questions. Maybe Ali will be the best to answer. Can you tell us a hint about what editions are available for users to acquire the system? Is it available for subscription? What packages are available for subscription and so on?
Sure. So ServiceNow, it's sort of a fulfiller, what we call a fulfiller or subscription base that comes in. It's a 1 year to 3 year contract. It depends on the situation. It's a user fulfiller base, so end users will not be charged, but it's a fulfiller. So each fulfiller, which means an IT person who do an actual work on an incident, and the company would look at how many fulfillers that they have from service desk second level perspective. And then there's another one which is the for approval that goes to the owner workspace fulfillment. So it's a monthly charge on the fulfiller, goes across 12 months yearly based on the contract over 3 years or 1 year. And correct me if MJ here or Brian want to add something.
Yeah, I think that's the important part. I mean, there are other pieces. So within ServiceNow, for example, we have the capacity to do more sophisticated things like discover your whole infrastructure. So there's a different sort of a subscription model for that kind of software. But essentially, for the people that are interested in starting, the main point is this fulfiller idea. So in the Uber context, you have anybody who wants to order a car. It doesn't need to pay for their app or their usage of the system, but obviously the drivers of the cars are the ones that get licensed. That's the analogy that you might take in the service management space.
Okay, so Brian, if someone wants to use it for a trial period, for example, what sort of trials are available?
We don't usually do trials because the important thing about the ServiceNow system is it's a little bit different from a pre-configured ITSM solution. If you buy a pre-configured solution that you can try, then usually the setup is very straightforward. You simply start using the system and you can go for it. But with ServiceNow, obviously, to get value from it, you would actually build the specific workflows that are relevant to your operation, to what you do. So it's a little bit difficult to try that until you've actually set that. But what ServiceNow have done is on their website, and I encourage you all to have a look at that. There is a demo page, a demo capability, and they've prepared a whole set of how would I put it, use cases, if you like, that you can look at and get a quick idea of exactly, how would it feel, what would it look like, what would the outcomes be like, and you can walk through all of those use cases. Some of them, is it possible for me to share my screen? How would I do that? Let me just
just a second. Just a second.
Okay.
Yes. Just
okay, is it visible now?
You can see a sharing button. Just share from side. You can see the sharing button.
Right. Yes.
Share my webcam.
There we go. It's coming through.
Did you share something, Brian?
I just need to, because I have a Mac, so it's got some.
Yep.
It's got some pages I need to allow, here we go, it's coming through now.
Yeah.
I don't think you started sharing. Because from the sharing tab, under the sharing tab, you can see the show button.
Correct. It's on the Mac. You just need to enable the security sessions and these.
I've done it now, I hope.
Yeah.
Security is a thing. Show my screen.
Yes,
Good.
we can see it now. Yes.
Right. So this is just the normal, the homepage for ServiceNow, and you can see right on the front page what they do is they say try the demo here, and if you go to this section, you can immediately see a large number of options that are available. Usually you have to do a quick sign in, so let me just do that just so that you get an idea very quickly. I should be able to automatically fill some of these in, but never mind. So you just enter a whole lot of normal, doesn't matter really what you choose. In this case, like I say, it's not all that important. But what it'll do is it'll immediately take it to all of these kind of experiences. So you can see here, with respect to asset management, because of some of the choices that I made, it intelligently took me directly to a little video screen of that particular video. But there are other choices you can see down the side here that you can say, right, let's view all of these different examples of solutions, and then they're all available. So whether you are wanting to develop new applications or look at project management and IT business management, or the operations, like I mentioned, the discovery and event management and so on. So all of these different capabilities will immediately be available to you. And by the way, there's one other resource that you might be very interested in, is if you look at docs.servicenow.com, you can also get a complete view of the latest version, which is the Quebec version, which has just come out, and all of the release notes and information that you might want to know about with respect to the software that you're interested in. So, if you want to look at, for example, the asset module, you can immediately just go directly here and get all of the information that you're interested in on whichever version that you like. It's very, very intuitive, and they don't hide anything. So those are the two resources that I would recommend that you take a look at, all of these demos that are available. And it does give you the option, by the way, sorry, you will have seen at the bottom here, that if you want to go an extra step in terms of demonstration, I won't go there. I'm not going to bore you with going through the logon again, but there are these other options where you can book live demonstrations, or if you want to talk to an expert also, you could talk to us and contact Rania to set up, or we have these other options online as well. Any other questions?
Okay, great. Thank you, Brian. So from now, if anybody wants to approach you for acquiring this service, they can simply contact us directly, or they can approach you directly anyway. so that they can get more technical information or get some quotation for their organization. By this, okay, by this we reached the end of the webinar today, and I repeat my thanks to the panelists and to our attendees. Also, this session was recorded and the video will be posted on YouTube, along with the link to the website that Brian has shown and the contacts that you can contact for requesting more information. And if you have any other questions, please contact us after the webinar. Thank you again and see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.